Wow, you know what? This chapter really made me reminisce of the good old days. Good old days. And I think I will come back to this question, but we need to ask this question. Was Team 7 better in part 1 or part 2? I think a lot of people would say part 1. And then we're also going to talk about Shin and where the next chapter might go. But let's talk about Team 7 real quick. What do you think was the best Team 7? Like, was it part 1 when they were kids, when it all started? You know, you could say that. You could say this, yeah, this is where, they all came together. Kakashi Sensei, the tuning exams, Death Forest, Garda, Sasuke leaving, Sasuke saying goodbye, Sasuke and Naruto, Sasuke, Naruto going after Sasuke, or you could say part 2 with the same thing, but towards the end, them reuniting twice, epically, Sakura trying to resolve her burden, basically try to help Sasuke by killing him, also Naruto confronting him, also Naruto finding the truth, and also them finally reuniting and fighting Madara and Obito. And then of course the very ending with Naruto and Sasuke battling it out, and then Sakura helping out with Kaguya as well. Which Team 7 do you like? I mean, you can go by design as well. You can go by basically overall maturity. You can go by character. I mean, did you like when Naruto was more a kid and more, out there, outspoken, was more really talking but couldn't really back it up until later on? He was a hard worker. We all knew that. And he did become Beast, learning to control the Kurama's chakra. Or you can also say, part 2 was the best because Naruto was older and Naruto got into Sage mode. And Naruto fighting along Sasuke and Sakura, there was more weight to it because it's been so long and they finally reunited. Or you can, like I said, go back to part 1 where this is where it started. This is where the chemistry happened. This is how we got to know them. Which do you think was best? Was it part 1 Team 7 or was it part 2 Team 7? For my money, it's part 1. It's part 1, but not by a lot because there's a lot to like in part 2, especially towards the end of the war, especially towards, Sakura becoming the next Tsunade, even surpassing her. Sasuke, the new Sennin. You had Naruto finally, Naruto and Sasuke finally agreeing to work together and fight these, fight Madara, fight Obito. I mean, because they can't take it on by themselves. But Sakura joining in, and we've had Team 7 back. And, Sakura did do some things in that war. She punched Kaguya. And she had medical jutsu. But overall, I mean, it was great to see this Team 7 back together, and it was great to see some of, the dialogue that was going on between the two, mostly Naruto and Sasuke, because Team 7 was mostly about Naruto and Sasuke. Sorry, Sakura, but it was. But then I like part 1 because the fact that, hey, I think overall, the first part when when they first get together, when they formed a team, that was cool. But that's not what made me pick part 1. And then we also had the tuning exam. Then we had the Death Forest, which was really great and really showcased the abilities, the emotion, the attachments these characters had. However, that's not what really got me into it. And then you also have basically, before I get to I'm going to get to what I think what did it for me, but you also had Sasuke telling Sakura goodbye, even though, he said, she's annoying. And there's a really impactful moment there. And that's a Team 7 type thing because this wouldn't have never happened if they were in the team. So that's great, but that's not what pushed it for me. And then we have Naruto versus Sasuke, that weighted confrontation where Sasuke is going to lead to Orochimaru and Naruto is trying to stop him. And you have that epic fight where these two are just at a young age already having this mad, godlike power. So that's not what really put me to part 1. What put me into part 1 was the fact Naruto versus Gaara. This is the first time where it was a race against the time because Sakura was basically, she was the damsel in distress in that. But you saw Naruto, you saw Sasuke trying so hard to, get their teammate out of this jam, because if they didn't, Sakura would die. And then you saw Sasuke, acknowledge, hey, Naruto, you're the guy that could beat Gaara. And then at the end, Naruto beating Gaara and Sasuke looking at Naruto and saying, seeing that this dude has become strong. He is my friend. And also with Sasuke's affection towards Sakura, catching her, saying, look out, telling Pakun, look out for her. I got to go see what's up with Naruto. It was a whole team aspect there. There was a build-up, and it was a great conclusion. And, maybe Naruto did beat Gaara at the end, but it took every one of them. I mean, Sasuke was fighting him. Sakura was trying to, protect him. Or Sakura was involved, pretty much Sakura and Naruto going after them. I mean, it definitely was a great, it really showcased like how far they came from the Death Forest and where they're going to be headed to. So I think that's what really pushed me to part 1. Now, part 2, like I said, there's great moments in there. There's also that confrontation, the first confrontation when Sakura trying, she knows it's also great with Kakashi. You could even throw in Kakashi in there. He is part of Team 7. He was a sensei. I love the fact that Sakura tried to kill Sasuke, but you knew that was never going to happen. But she did try. I love the fact that after that, Kakashi said, now I know what the third Hokage, why he loved Orochimaru so much, that he, even though as much as he did wrong, he still loved him. That's the same thing with Kakashi and Sasuke. There's great moments like that. There's great moments like with Naruto finding out the truth about Itachi, and Naruto understanding Sasuke's feelings, even though Sasuke is wants to destroy Konoha. Great stuff. And then now we have part 3, and I'm really digging what maturity part 3 is doing. It feels like Team 7 is very, like they've been together for quite a while, and that they're a little bit rusty, I'm not gonna lie, but overall I really liked how the maturity is, and how you can just feel it just by the little panels they got, that Sasuke's in the village, he lives there, he has his daughter, he has a wife. He trusts Naruto. Naruto trusts him. Sakura coming in and, knocking Shin on his ass. I mean, it's great. And I will go back to this question after it's all said and done. But right now, it's which Team 7 did you like best? Did you like part 1 or did you like part 2? I liked part 1, but not by a lot. I think part 2 has so much to offer. And when I say part 2, I'm talking about when they're mature and they're teen, like that right from the beginning, when they're teens, and it's Naruto and Sakura, it's going over trying to get Sasuke in that first encounter meeting, which was awesome. Sasuke up on a little hilltop, so to speak, and then Naruto on the bottoms, and then you see you see Sakura coming in, it's like Sasuke-kun, and then Sasuke looking at Sakura. And Naruto, that was great, especially when you saw that animated. I thought they did a really great job to tease you on that. Now let's talk about Shin. I mean, this last chapter was bananas. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Shin, man. I mean, this I said teleportation jutsu or whatever, or space-time jutsu. It's called space-time jutsu. I mean, this guy, he had that little Sour Patch Kid. So this guy definitely he's experimented on himself. It seems like he's cloned himself. It's kind of like that white Zetsu, so to speak. I always say sort of. But, I don't know who is this guy? Who is he? I don't recognize him. Nobody knows who the hell this guy is. But he definitely has a grudge with Sasuke and Sasuke alone, I believe, or just pretty much humanity alone. He wants everybody to burn. And now that Sakura is pretty much has to do this little transplant, it's going to be interesting how that comes to play. But Shin, I think, seeing how quick that fight, how quickly, we only have so much of this manga, but of Shin fighting Sasuke and Naruto and holding his own. But I think that's due to the fact that Naruto and Sasuke were just not as sharp as they needed to be. But his abilities are pretty cool, marking the katana and being able to control weapons. Having all these eyes, just insane. But I still feel like he's definitely not in the same level as Madara or Kaguya. I mean, he's already needs a transplant. I just don't see it. But overall, where is this going to go? Honestly, just I feel like his demise is coming quick. I feel like there's somebody else still out there because Sasuke does say that somebody is just like more terrifying than Kaguya. I don't think Shin is the guy. I think he is smoke pretty much, and that there's somebody else that gave him all this resource, gave him all these eyes, or something like that. He's just more of an Avenger, I would say, just like Sasuke. But who knows? I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, this is not just me just spitting the shit. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, my main question was Team 7. It was great to see Team 7 back. It was great to see, Sakura, saying, don't touch my daughter or my husband. It was great to see Sasuke protecting Sarada and really caring for somebody. It's great to see Sasuke caring because back in the day, Sasuke was just a dick and he's a douche, and we don't know if he's still somewhat like that. And then Naruto, his face being stabbed was priceless. He's like, shit, I just got stabbed. So, and that's another question. Like, would you guys, do you want to see Naruto die, an old age, or would you like to see him go in a heroic death? That is an interesting aspect too, because after Naruto getting stabbed on this chapter, I was like, you know what? It's tragic, but I could see Naruto going out like that for some reason. I would like to see Naruto go out like that. I mean, later on, but I think it'd be fitting for a shinobi like Naruto. I just don't want to, for Naruto, I don't want a happy ending where he dies of old age. I would like to see him die in battle and die, never going back on his word and protecting the village. I would love to see that. Like the third Hokage, I think the third Hokage's death was amazing. I think that was well done. So thank you guys for listening. That's just me shooting the shit, pretty much thinking about everything that happened in this chapter. We don't know too much about Shin. I can't wait to see what else is revealed, what his connections lie to, and how Sasuke, Sarada, Chocho, and Naruto bring back Sakura, and that space-time jutsu. Like, what's the deal with the little Sour Patch shit? So, thank you guys for listening. Subscribe, like, let me know everything you guys have to say on the comments below. And thank you guys for listening, and I am out. Dan the Man is out.